Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another Spiritualistik Pick a Card reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your past life. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with the blue light code, group number 2 in the middle with the pink light code, and group number 3 on the right with the yellow light code. As always, the timestamps to your readings are listed below in the description box, as well as the link to personal readings on my Etsy store. You can find light codes that are personalized, as well as my Light Codes Oracle deck. You can find channeling sessions from me, tarot and astrology readings, Reiki sessions. I do also offer astrocartography, so astromap. And on top of personals, you'll also be able to find there my spiritual store, where you'll be able to find all of my tarot and oracle decks that I've made that you'll see me use on my channel. I also have fun things that I've made up there as well, such as intention journals, where I have created prompted and unprompted journals to help you with different aspects of your life, some for intentions and manifestations, some for your dreams, some for your channeled messages, some for your shadow work, as well as the other books that I have written and published. I also wrap crystals, so you'll find stuff like that on there as well. I've got meditation cushions that I have made, designed myself, all kinds of stuff. Also, if you're interested in more exclusive content, I do have a Patreon channel, which is at Spiritualistik, just like this channel. I post their exclusive content every Thursday, and keep an eye out for some upcoming surprises. I also have a membership channel here on YouTube, on my Inner Circle channel. You'll find all of this in the description box below. If you are interested in leaving me a donation, it's highly appreciated, but not necessary, of course. You'll find the link to my PayPal down below in the description box. You can also give me a super thanks here on YouTube. Basically, any little thing helps. If you like, comment, subscribe to my channel, that helps me a ton. Follow me over on TikTok or Instagram, it gives me a little hug. And of course, if you want to support me financially, you can help me by purchasing something on my shop, joining one of my exclusive content channels, or simply watching through my ads, letting them roll, because that is a great way to help me push the YouTube algorithm and put a couple dollars in my pocket. So thank you so very much for being here today. I love you and I'm grateful for you, and I'll see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group 1, namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from a past life of yours. You selected the first group with the blue light code here. Now, scrying off of this light code, the first thing that I can see here is that you've been on a bit of a journey, and this is definitely a life of yours where, as you incarnated in this body where you are today, or some of the previous lifetimes that you've had, actually, you really have already integrated a lot of the traits of this lifetime. So that means that who you are today probably has a lot of the same personality or character traits, or at the very least, some of the same spiritual gifts and abilities. You're going to notice that some of maybe your hobbies, some of the character traits, things like this, carry forward the most. So this is going to be something that you've already integrated into your persona, but perhaps you realize this past life later than some of the others. So with this being the case, I'm getting that the realization of this is going to be something that allows you to move forward very swiftly in life, because it gives you more of a why behind some of those energies that you know that you're here to clear. That leads me to believe that in some way, shape, or form, this is a bit of a powerhouse energy. Whether you were a very strong warrior, whether you were on a galactic board of some sort, whether you were regal, whether you were royalty or something like this, or just the energy that you had is very strong, very prominent from this lifetime. And before we get into this more, the reason that this is coming up is because this is something where, of course, as we evolve in our consciousness, we embody all of the things that we have been and are meant to be, and we're also meant to release and cleanse them, which means that you would have less of a clear vision of the why, and you would have these traits and they would feel normal and natural and beautiful. You would have these perhaps character traits, you would have these spiritual gifts and abilities, and you love them, you know that they're natural, but you also know that they come from somewhere. You're also able to see in an unbiased perspective that some of these traits are maybe a little bit out of balance. Some of them are powerhouses, some of them are tools, but there are also some things here that need to get cleansed and reworked and elevated and evolved in consciousness, because as we evolve in our journey, we all basically evolve from source and then back into source. So what this is saying is that this powerhouse energy of yours, it does have its quirks, just like all of us and our beautiful, amazing, weird, silly, perfect little personalities. They're amazing. However, this is such a strong part of you that is important, but it also has, with that, the name attached to that identity, or with that story attached to that identity, it gives it a little bit more attachment to some of those traits that without that attachment, you would perhaps have needed to struggle a little bit more in this life in order to balance out some of that karma, in order to equalize some of those traits, in order to evolve spiritually, because you have put on your soul journey your evolution first, your ascension process, your evolution of consciousness, your growth first. And so instead of leaning more into that archetype or leaning more into that persona, you're able to embody it and really have it mastered in this lifetime, kind of fine-tune it a little bit, refine it. And then as you are releasing the aspects that need to be released and once more empowering those aspects that can be used as tools, now you have this realization. So this might have happened recently, this might be up ahead on your journey, and it might be something that you've known about for a long time, but this is clarity on the energy that's coming through here. Now, this is beautiful actually, because the energy here is removal of obstacles. So when I was channeling this light code, of course, I was feeling Ganesh or Ganesha come through and assisting me in the channeling of this specific code here. And of course, this is the removal of obstacles, which is correlated with Ganesh. Normally, I would just leave the energy as it is, but I felt called to mention that here due to the, I guess, archetypal energies that are with it. So some of this might be a little bit interesting. Some of you might have lives that you remember as perhaps personas that can be found in the Bhagavad Gita or in Hinduism. Some of you might have, for example, energies that you remember being alongside maybe elephants, or you remember being an animal, or something like this, where you remember you were able to connect in some way, shape, or form. I just felt like the that energy needed to be named. And so there's something about that too. We also had that energy coming up in the beginning where the energy needed to be named, but it needed to be seen objectively and unbiased first. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the Follow Your Heart Oracle, and we're going to see this past life persona of yours, or the energy of your past life from your Akashic records, what it wants to tell you. Okay, so what is it that your, let's say, Akashic records want to share with you first, and then we'll get into this past life a little bit more. We've got material matters and removal of obstacles, okay? So your Akashic records want to let you know that everything right now in your life is going according to plan. So remember to stay confident in yourself. Again, so not so much so that you begin to over-verbalize that confidence, right? You're not trying to compensate for confidence that you are growing into. I'm not saying that you are not confident. I'm not saying that you are insecure. However, your Akashic records, just the energy here, wants to let you know that in this part of your soul plan, this part of your soul's path, right now, you are kind of cleansing out the last little bit of some energies that do not serve you. And as this happens, you're going to find some triggers that don't really belong to you as an individual coming up, but that do resonate with your soul from maybe several lifetimes ago. So you're going to find triggers come up that don't resonate with you, but they do, meaning they don't belong to you, but they're familiar. And so as this happens, you're going to notice that you begin to listen a little bit more. You're going to find as well that you are a little bit more careful about the energy that you are around, but it's not about picking and choosing where you're placing yourself necessarily as much as the way that you relate to your surroundings. So it's a little less about are you in the right or the wrong room, it's about how do you behave regardless of the room that you're in. So we're kind of stepping a little bit more into this ferocity, a little bit more of this solidification of character of you in this lifetime as an individual who does go through that evolution of consciousness. And you'll find that we all grow and change and evolve bit by bit, day by day. Every choice that we make, and everything that we think in our mind, every affirmation that we speak, it is a portal into a new experience, into a new version of us. We are what we are what we eat, we are what we think, we are what we say. These things are very true. However, on a soul perspective, Akashically, you are really dusting up some hard to reach corners in your spiritual experience. And so some of those things you're noticing come up in your life right now. And so some of them will be very beautiful and seemingly hard to reach or out of nowhere. And some of them might be very odd or morbid or uncomfortable. And again, these aren't things that you'll be able to trace necessarily back to your childhood, or maybe even back to that life of yours from another realm or another time period that you really resonate with. This will be something that you resonate with, but maybe you've resonated with it at an arm's length, and then it gets closer and closer and closer to you. Now, as you are unfolding and evolving, those little corners, it's like if you fold inside out like a pillowcase or something, those little corners sometimes they stay folded in, and what you're doing is popping out those corners and you're dusting them off. So this is beautiful. This is very refined spiritual work. You're crossing the T's and dotting the I's. However, they must show up in your physical experience. You are seeing everything clearly at this point in time, and it is your job not to overthink what's going on with your human mind, because your soul knows exactly what's going on. I'm getting to tell you that if you were on autopilot spiritually, your higher self would pass you through these experiences with flying colors, so not to worry as much. Now, your human thoughts and emotions, they're very valid. However, with this being the case, trust that you are being brought into and out of pre-considered and pre-agreed upon situations, knowing that you would go into and out of them. Now, as a human with your own persona and your own character traits and your own thoughts and fears and passions and desires and thoughts and communities and social systems, you're going to feel certain ways about them. You're going to have emotional up and downs. But remember that when you have this up and down energy, it's like pumping, right? I'm being shown like a surf skate. That's not very relatable for a lot of you, but if you are like pumping on a surfboard, for example, if you are consistently bending your knees like before you jump, it's going to give you more momentum. It's going to actually increase the speed with which you transform, with which you grow, with which you evolve and move forward. So your Akashic energy here wants to let you know that your dreams, your astral experiences, your spiritual experiences, and some of your more tangible spiritual gifts are actually really emphasized at this point in time. You're going to notice that all of the gifts that you have, they kind of explode in a positive way, but nonetheless. There's also this energy where you are approaching some of the energies of your soul that you've experienced before, that you've already done the work to fix. For example, you've already calibrated certain energies, but now you get to look at them in the face and you see what you adjusted to where. So now you're going to have a new perspective, a new experience, and a new relationship to those energies. For example, say that you were a king, you're high and mighty, beautiful, everybody loves you, and because of this, you can act however you want. Now, I'm not saying this is the case, and we'll get into more specifics about your past life in a second. However, with this energy, this is something where you'll walk around and you might say things like, well, I am the wisest of the land, right? And there might be, in this lifetime, a little bit of that vibe, right? And so you walk around, and as you evolve spiritually, you look at this objectively, and you don't have the why, you don't have the name, you don't have that king, right? Like knowledge that everyone just says okay to whatever it is that you say. And there might be some things where you say, I make the best decision, and you move forward, and that decision maybe wasn't the best. And so you need to learn to scrutinize and to maybe bring that energy into balance a little bit so that you can objectively see, where is my wisdom? Where can I grow? Where do I have the wisest decision-making abilities? And where do I not make the wisest decision-making abilities? And so now that you have this energy calibrated and balanced out, now you're able to have that name or that face or that story revealed to you so that it is giving you the understanding, it's giving you more context, and it's also empowering you. But it's not in a way where it can help you lean into those energies because you've already balanced them out. And so Akashically, you are diving a little bit more deeply into yourself, into your soul. However, it's also going to bring up some obstacles that needed to get removed. It's going to bring up some things that are areas that maybe were not in your control, and bringing them up and saying, what are you going to do about them? And when the answer can be nothing, this is, in some way, shape, or form, empowering due to its disempowerment. So let's take a look at what this lifetime of yours wants to tell you, and then we'll pull a little bit more specific so we can go on a little bit of a journey together here. I do want to mention at this point that we also do have a past life guided meditation on my YouTube channel here. It's up here for free. There are no ads in the middle of it, so you can simply float away. So if you would like, I do have a past life regression energy meditation that does supplement this reading very nicely. So if you want to connect with this and then deep dive into there, you can kind of have this is a general reading. You can have that general experience, get those energies activated, and then you can take some time and really dive in, and you can have that internal experience that's really one-on-one. And of course I do offer personals, but let's see, what does this past life energy want to tell you? Five of Swords. I'm hearing don't you worry about a thing. Okay, so there's something here about I'm being shown Stevie Wonder and the fact that he is blind. So there might be something here specifically about the eyes or something about blindness. I'm also receiving something here about, with the Four of Swords and the Justice, that there's something here that you have learned to heal. And there's also something here where you have some sort of ability that is, I'm hearing the word magnanimous? Magnanimous? Like it's astronomical. You have some sort of huge skill or ability. And at the same time, in some way, in your life, this is something that is, I'm hearing the word disabled. I don't say that lightly, and I'm not meaning that lightly, but there's something here where you are maybe oppressed in a particular area. Maybe you do have or have experienced a disability in some way in your life. Maybe there is something in your life. Maybe this comes from trauma. Maybe it comes from your physical ability. Maybe it comes from something emotional. But whatever this is here, there's something here where you were given literally the short end of the stick, the shortest end of the stick possible, but your ability to move like it's not there, or your ability to grow through it or even heal it, this is in some way, shape, or form allowing you to hold on to, I'm hearing like otherworldly power or otherworldly gifts or some sort of strength of yours, like all of that, all of those skills that you learned in battle, all of those spiritual gifts that you had in that other realm, all of that healing ability that you had in Mintaka or in Atlantis, whatever it is for you. And again, we'll get more into it, but whatever that otherworldly vibe is, it doesn't need to be from another world, but it's definitely spiritual. It's definitely huge. That needed to express itself all of the way. And in this realm, up until a certain point in your life, you needed to express it all the way because it's who you are. However, you needed not a fair balance in order to get to express that all the way, because it was more important for your soul to express that energy fully from a place that made it look normal and okay on the outside. So this might be something where maybe you have a superpower where you can just attract so much money so easily. So you would have been put in situations where you can utilize that skill, you can utilize that ability, but it just somehow keeps you running the status quo in some way, shape, or form with the people around you. But you are still acting or expressing this huge energy. It might be something where you're maybe very, very gifted at healing, but maybe this huge gift of yours in healing, you've needed it to just be able to live your regular everyday life. Again, I'm hearing the word ableism. So there's something here where it's like they don't know what they don't know. You know what you can do, but you can't express it because when it's worn on you, it just makes you look normal. And so that's a choice that your soul made up until a particular point. However, it's also something that's burdened you. And it is also something that is either approaching right now or it will soon approach you on your spiritual journey. So just keep an eye out for this. This life of yours wants to let you know that, as you know, you are still going to make a splash in this life, and you're going to get to have more fun. They also want to caution you where you put your heart as well. It can be people, it can be jobs, it can be friends, it can be things, hobbies, whatever it is, but they want to caution you where you put your heart. Simply because you are someone with that energy who likes to keep moving forward, who likes to take it slow, who likes to sip life, not chug life, for lack of a better analogy. And they want to remind you this. They want to remind you that some of the most delicious moments in life, they are savored. And so be careful not to put your eggs all in one basket. Not that you don't only have one basket for your eggs, weird analogy, but that sometimes it's less about where you're placing something and more about reaching into your pocket and taking whatever the thing is and looking at it, feeling it, putting it wherever it's going to go. Something like this. This is getting interesting, but there's definitely this analogy here about it's more about the process than it is about the destination. So it's less about your choices as a physical human being and more about your soul's experience. So enjoy the journey a bit more deeply. Enjoy the journey a bit more deeply and watch what you're getting attached to. You can get attached to attachment. You can get attached to detachment, but keep it attached to, like, if you are choosing that road, attach yourself to feelings, attach yourself to energies, attach yourself to vibes, paint. Don't attach yourself to the subject of the painting, attach yourself to the painting. The paint and the colors, that way you can paint as much as you want. You have freedom in the painting. Fall in love with falling in love. And that can have one painting with one subject on it. It can be one person that you fall in love with. It can be one career that you have forever. However, expand and zoom out a little bit is the advice from this energy. Anything else they want to tell you? They do want to let you know that you are going to be stepping into a bit more luxury. So be open to receiving, okay? And when this comes in, do not judge or scrutinize the things that you receive. Allow them to be received by you, and then decide how you feel about it afterwards. This advice is coming through because you deserve to see what is fully being offered to you, unlike the past is coming up, okay? There might be something here with trust issues or something here about not being able to receive or needing to forgive or being a people pleaser. You're going to know what your story is, of course. However, there is definitely this energy of connection that's coming through. And remember that it's okay to not only romanticize your life, but remember that you can allow the universe, spirit, source, God, light, whatever your flavor of spirituality is, allow that to be your biggest romance in this life. Grow and evolve and work on that relationship and see how everything clarifies and falls into place from there. And this might be a surprising message coming from this life of yours. And that is the point. Because this energy is a powerhouse. And they want to remind you where that comes from. Truly. You are a powerhouse. You know where that comes from. Truly. Because the healer is never really the healer. The healer is the conduit of the energy. The healer is the one that reminds one that they have the ability to connect with that energy. So, remember, you don't need to roll up your sleeves as much. You just need to show up a little more and a little more confidently. They also want you to be a little bit more selfish. Not your definition of selfish, because you've seen some very arrogant people. But they do want you to be a little bit more selfish and get comfortable with that word. Not because to be selfish versus selfless is an attribute or a moral or a virtue that they want you to step into, but rather because the Nine of Pentacles here is very much a card that talks about personal freedom, personal abundance, being happy, secure. You're not hyper independent, but you are independent. You are not so stabilized that you're stuck. You're stable. You are 9 out of 10. You are not fully there. You are not fully satisfied. You're not fully satiated, but it's good enough. But you're still on that journey to get more. So, considering that, move forward with that energy a bit. I do want to mention, all of these decks used today are on my Etsy store at Spiritualistik. You can find that in the link in the description box. Now I'm going to move on to the Past Life Oracle. These are all my decks. This one is not. This was gifted to me by a friend. So we're going to tap in here and we're going to see a little bit about this past life of yours, just so we can dust off some corners for you. So group number 1's past life, what would you like to show them? What would you like to show them? Group 1's past life, what would you like to show them? Okay. I'm hearing this song, Loving You Was Dumb and Wild and Free. Consequences by Camila Cabello. So, okay, interesting. We've got 2 of the same category of cards here. So this is actually quite interesting. The energy that's coming through here is that of exploring your freedom, your personal freedom. This has a lot to do with a situation where you've experienced in some way a broken heart. So this has a lot to do with, it says here, blockage of your heart chakra. However, your heart chakra is also connected with your astral body. And as we had before in this reading, you are experiencing a huge surge of energy with your astral body. You might be having very vivid dreams. You might be noticing lucid dreaming is happening easier for you. You might be astrally projecting, having out-of-body experiences. Just your spiritual gifts are expanding here. So we do have this huge activation of the astral body and the heart chakra. So we have here the healing of a broken heart. Now this can be romantic. It doesn't need to be romantic. We're drawing back to this energy that we did mention with the last deck that we pulled here. This is my graphic tarot. However, there is this purity that's ongoing here. I want to take a look at the moons on both of these cards. On this card, this is white. It's pure. On the other one, it's gold, like source, like golden light. But the moon here, it's pure and it's white. So there's a purification of the heart space, of the astral body. And notice here that there are flowers growing out of the heart. So this is definitely saying that you are blossoming, you're blooming, you're evolving. This isn't the having a broken heart. This isn't the having a blockage in the heart chakra. This is rather growth and expansion of the heart chakra that you are processing right now. And it has a lot to do with your own freedom as well. So it's actually talking about perhaps a system or a person or a pathology that you were very connected with or are very connected with that perhaps you know is not in your best interest, or you question whether it's in your best interest. There is definitely this energy of you reparenting yourself as well in some way, shape, or form, and learning and growing. Now, there's also this energy coming through with this next card of excessively sacrificing yourself. We did have this energy of being a people pleaser coming up before. Now, this might be in a way where you are sacrificing yourself to be overly nice to people. This might be because you were running around trying to make everybody happy and losing yourself. It might also be because you had some sort of prominence, some sort of responsibility. I'm hearing the phrase, heavy is the head that wears the crown. So it can be from either dynamic or possibly even both. There's an energy where because of maybe your reputation or because of what you had in the material realm, because of your abundance, because of maybe your beauty, because of your public speaking, because of your power in life, because of your position socially, financially, I'm hearing a caste system as well, or perhaps even just in your personal relationships in life because of their expectations and the way you were raised, you're going to find that there's a huge pendulum swing going on in this area. So we do have also the Cartman triangle, which talks about you can choose. Well, you have 3 options. Okay, you can be the victim, you can be the perpetrator, or you can be the one that gets to choose and decide basically which to be or which to tell yourself that you are. You can tell yourself you're perpetually the victim. You can tell yourself that you're the perpetrator, everything's always your fault. However, that third point there, which is what you are evolving in this lifetime, actually has to do with understanding that sometimes things happen to you, and sometimes you do things on accident to other people, and also that you have the power of choice with every choice that you make, and that everything is personal. So there's a little bit of this energy of remember that everything is a soul choice. Also, remember that sometimes hurt people. Sometimes people who are not hurt people because those other people are hurt. Sometimes it's not about whether you're perpetually a victim. Sometimes it's healthy to recognize that you didn't deserve something and it happened anyway and you are a victim. And sometimes it's not healthy to be in victim mindset because you do experience the consequences of your own actions and choices. And so whatever is appropriate at that point in time. Sometimes you're in your villain era. Sometimes you were choosing yourself and you had to hurt somebody else. But we have excessive sacrifice coming through. We do have this energy of you being called to be a little bit more selfish, and that you might not feel totally comfortable with that, or with that word in general, doing your shadow work here coming out. So we do have this energy of you not necessarily being maybe in a victim mindset. You might have been the kind of victim that calls yourself a perpetrator. It's the kind of person who suffers maybe, let's just use an example that I don't use lightly and might not be your case, but someone who suffers from narcissistic abuse, let's say. And the person who's not a narcissist will turn around after that traumatic experience and they'll go, am I the narcissist? Was I the terrible person the whole time? And no, it's that the victim and the perpetrator, well, you have to be one of them. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have the choice to be outside of that. You also have the choice to honor where things did fairly and unfairly occur to you, where you treated people fairly and unfairly. You have the choice in the way that you identify yourself. You have the choice in the way that you create your internal narrative, and you also have the choice in the way that you move forward, and you're being called not to sacrifice excessively as a default mode. So we do have these cards coming out as events, which is saying that in this lifetime specifically, you felt maybe alone, brokenhearted. You might have been actually, there's a little bit of a duality dynamic coming through here. This is the kind of thing where you might have been a heartbreaker, but not because you are breaking people's hearts. It might just have been because you were so beautiful and everyone threw themselves at you. It might have been that you never really were able to make a good, authentic friend, and it wasn't because you couldn't make a good, authentic friend. It was because you were like heavy as the head that wears the crown. Everyone wants to get around you for clout, or because you are XYZ. It might be because you really, really loved somebody, but they were in like a different relationship, or maybe even you had love for somebody that didn't incarnate alongside with you. There's this energy of heartbreak here, but also this sacrifice of self where your past self is coming through to say, it's okay to be vulnerable. I'm hearing the song New by Clara Luciani, and there's this vibe of it's okay for you to dress up or dress down. You can be shy, you can be loud, you can be fun, you can be refined. It doesn't really matter as long as it's authentic to you. You don't need to sacrifice yourself anymore. And we do have this energy of Saturn coming through, which is the strict teacher. We do have this energy of reparenting yourself that came through as well. So there's a little bit of this memory that they're leaving with you about having a broken heart because you felt alone, because you felt that you didn't have anyone to look up to except for yourself. And when you did place your heart outside of yourself, or when you tried, it ended up being something that got conquered, or it ended up being something that let someone else win, and not in a way in integrity. This was something where maybe you didn't have parents that cared about your emotions. You cared about parents who cared about you had parents that cared about maybe the grades that you had in school. You had parents that maybe cared about refining you to be the best version of whoever you are in society. Something like this. And this might be something that carries through in this life, but it's showing up as something from this past life, as an event. So it's a link. So something that is linking you here and then. I'm also being shown the converse. So I'm getting that if you ever went through like a phase, like a converse phase, or something like that. It might not be a phase, right? Mom, it's not a phase. There's this energy where you might be surprised to find that it comes from this life. Maybe you were all bright and fluffy and sparkly and pink, but on the inside it was black and hollow and sad. And so maybe on this life, maybe internally, maybe you're like a golden retriever, you're happy and fluffy and lovey and sparkly, but on the outside maybe it's sad and doomy and gloomy. And so there's this energy of your past life saying, almost, I'm sorry that you've had to continue learning my lessons, but we're doing it together and I am you. And so it's okay that things that you did not do in this lifetime, you've needed to clean up. That is okay. But remember that spiritually, it is because you were given gifts that other people coveted. You're given beauty that other people coveted. You were given a position in life that other people coveted. And it's not your fault if they looked down upon you because they were afraid of you shining. If they tried to squish you because they were afraid of you shining. And they also want to tell you not to give up. And that your discipline in this life from your persona, you as a human in this lifetime, is one of the biggest skills and gifts that you have. Not to mention your connection with the stars. Spending time in nature is very healthy and cathartic for you. There's something about being under the sea or in like a desert that looks like the ocean or something like this. And your past life self also wants to tell you that you don't need to be like an ice queen, an ice king, an ice-hearted person in order to be successful in this life. You might have to clean up some messes that you did not create. But it is because you, as you are a victim in that way, you're also a perpetrator. And it's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you did anything wrong. It's because you have something that others covet. And letting yourself be confident in that area, letting yourself embody the versions of you that you've already done the work to balance out and you have the realization afterwards, letting yourself fully embrace and embody that energy will be empowering for you, and it will put you back in that energy of choice. Because you don't need to be a victim. You also don't need to be a perpetrator. But you cannot control the way others treat you. You can control the way that you perceive it and what you do about it. You also cannot control the way that others might be offended by you shining or jealous of you. You cannot control the way that others might project upon you or make false assumptions. But what you can do is not do that about yourself. If you, being smart, hurt somebody else, you did not hurt them. They hurt themselves and you're just existing. And so you might feel a little bit like that victim who's made out to be the perpetrator. Because if you could only tolerate more, if you could only sacrifice yourself more, and your past life is saying, remember who the F you are, group one, you stand up. I'm hearing the phrase tits up, okay? Just stand up. It's easier said than done, but there's a reason. There's a reason. And you have it now. So put your chin up, your shoulders back, take a deep breath, and you go out and about in the world like you are back. Because you didn't leave, but it seems that somebody didn't know who they were dealing with. And it might have even been you for a short while. Remember, you already had these traits coming into this life. And you even balanced them out, refined them, and perfected them. You evolved them. Now you have the realization. You had the realization after you did the work. Things will come into place for you. Things will fall into place. So don't worry. We'll pull one more card for you from the past life oracles. One more, please, from the past life oracle. Okay. Okay, we've got two more. Wow, more events and links for you. Surprising. There are a lot of different, like, cards in here that aren't just that, but that's what you wanted today. Okay, we have good action, good karma. Okay, you have put good out into the world and you are receiving good back, and your past life is saying, I will be gosh darned. I will be damned. Okay, if you do not realize that you've got good karma, because you're a good person. You always have been, you always will be. It's not your fault if you're so good of a person that it makes people think, no, that can't be possible. It's too good to be true. Okay, maybe the world that they tried to put you in was too bad to be true. You're not too good to be true. The projection that other people threw on you was too bad to be true. You've got good karma in the bank, group one. Also, look at this balance. We've got good action, good karma, bad action, bad karma. Look at that. You have been dealing so much with yourself. You've been doing so much work on yourself. You've been growing so much. And nobody's perfect, right? On the other side of that, everybody is perfect. So don't be so hard on yourself. You might think that when something bad happens to you, it's because you have bad karma. But it actually might be that it's because you have good karma. And the bad karma of other people is actually watching you shine and succeed. And people might want to prolong that. People might want to steal from that, take away from that, even copy that. But we do have here vow of silence. We've got a throat chakra expansion. Remember that You can speak things into existence. There's also an element of sound healing coming through here as well. You might be a singer, a musician. You could do light language. This is showing up as an event. So in this lifetime, you could have been a singer. You could have been a siren. You could have been a speaker. You could have been someone who had a voice, and it mattered. And so in this life, it will be linked to you knowing that you have a voice. And guess what? Other people might not like that. And that is not an opportunity for you to see yourself as a victim or as a perpetrator, because you are simply being yourself. You've already refined and balanced these energies. Your throat chakra is activating, your heart chakra is activating, your astral body is popping, your energy field is popping, and it's time for you to speak up. Your voice is going to be heard. You see things from a higher perspective. You have transformed. And on top of that, there is so much depth to you that has not yet been seen. They haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg yet, Group 1. And so your past life wants to remind you who the heck you are today, who the heck you've been in the past. And they also want to remind you that's not greater or better than who you are today. Because you wouldn't be here right now if you weren't literally the next generation, more evolved version of them. So try that on for size. Group 1, that is your message from your past life self. I hope that this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. I do offer personal readings. If you would like one, you can find them on my Etsy store at Spiritualistik. I do have a lot of other readings like this. You can find them here on my Inner Circle channel on YouTube and on my Patreon, all of which are also in the description box below. I do offer channeled messages, tarot, astrology, and Reiki. I also offer personalized light codes for attuning your energy field or connecting with specific energies as well. All of those are available on my Etsy store at Spiritualistik. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how this resonated with you. If you want to share anything about your past life or the way that it connects with this one in the comments, let other people know they're not alone. And if you subscribe to my channel and like this, it helps other people find the accurate energies that resonate with them. It just helps spread the love my way and also towards other people who are ready to evolve into this energy as well. So with that being said, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I love you and I'm grateful for you, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi Group 2, Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at a message to you from your past life, and you selected the second group with the pink light code. Group number 2, this is the light code of fate versus destiny. Now these are not the same two ideas. Fate is something that is written for you that cannot be escaped, and destiny is what you write on your own. You create your destiny. You do not create your fate. So the idea that these two things perfectly intertwine together is the idea that we hear so often in spirituality of co-creation. Group number 2. To scry off this light code, there is seemingly something here that is quite concentric, meaning that there is a theme that continues to come back around in your life. There might be one lifetime that you remember out of all of them that is your most prevalent. Maybe this is the first energy that you ever remembered in your past life journey. Maybe this is the energy that was the biggest deal or had the strongest energy. Or maybe it's just the one that you are the proudest of, or it's the one that you resonate the most with today. There's something here about, for some reason, this energy being kind of filed to the front out of all of the lives you've experienced. And so you strongly resonate with this. Patterns and themes of this, remembering things that you knew in this lifetime, remembering the lessons that this energy has taught you are continuing to come up. And so there is an energy here of remembering through this lifetime, through this energy, that you do have more power than you think to create your own destiny. Alternatively, for some of you, this is reminding you that things are sometimes out of your control. You cannot manifest everything. You can manifest anything, but you cannot manifest everything. This is not to say that you don't have that power, but it is to say that there are two energies here that are really prominent. One is that everything is not in your control. And the other is that some of you can remember that more is in your control than you like to think. For a lot of you, it's probably a little bit of each, depending on the balance, because applying each perspective to different situations will keep you walking a straight road. Now, of course, the spiritual journey, the Akashic journey, the healing journey, no spiritual journey is quite linear like that. But if we do look at balance, the balance of these two energies are bringing you back to center. So you might be trying really hard, doing everything you can in order to manifest something in this lifetime, and maybe you get everything around it to remind you that it's not in your hands. And alternatively, maybe you're having so much faith in the way that something is meant to go, and it's an area where you are realizing that's actually something you get full creative liberty on. So there is also a little bit of this ethereal energy here. It's a little bit of a mystical, magical energy. I'm being shown a few things. I'm being shown unicorns and fae. I'm being shown Arcturians. I'm being shown like a maiden kind of vibe. There are a lot of different things that can be coming up here for you specifically, but I'm also being shown dragons and a white rabbit. Now, these might be signs that you see or to look out for in the future. I'm also being shown the Chinese symbol for woman, so that can be significant as well as the letter G. Moving forward, there seems to be a passageway that you've been trying to pass through for a very long time. It's something that you've maybe dreamed you've gone through in another lifetime, but in this lifetime, for some reason, you either can't or won't step through it. And so with the fate versus destiny energy here, that might be the question that this past life is bringing forward to you today, or just in general in this incarnation. Is it that you can't, or is it that you won't? Now, both can be equally valid answers, and for each of you, it might be a little different. However, there is this energy coming forward that you are being called to remember your divinity, remember your power, remember your faith. Remember that you are not the only one that is working for things in your favor, and that also there is more that you can do in order to turn things in your favor. You might be focusing on number one instead of number two. Number one might be out of your hands. Number two might be in your hands. However, they will both lead you towards that end goal you're trying to manifest. You might feel stuck. You might feel, is it that you can't, or is it that you won't? Is it that you won't focus on number two instead of one? Or is it that you can't because you're focusing on number one? Alternatively, it can be inside out for some of you as well. So, with that being the case, let's get into your cards now, and let's see, what does your Akashic records have in store for you? What do your Akashic energies here want to share with you? Let's pull a message here from your Akashic energies, and then we'll get a little more specific into messages from this past life, and we'll pull some energies from that past life specifically that are pulling up as themes, okay? So, messages from the Akashic records of group number 2. Through the Looking Glass, divinely guided. Is that that was at the back of the deck here. So we do have this energy of white rabbit and a little bit of this discombobulation coming through. This is not mine. So we have divinely guided, past life regression, a door is opening, signals from Sirius, and absorbing energy. Okay, so we do have Sirius coming through specifically. For some of you, it's that simple, okay? But we do have, again, divinely guided, past life regression, okay? You have been called into connecting with your Akashic energies a bit more. Now, some of you might be connected with your etheric template, the causal realm, cosmic consciousness, and so you might be kind of on the other side of the astral worlds. You might be on the other side of the Akashic energies. You might be in a place where you are kind of past that on your evolutionary journey. You might also be in a place where maybe you've rejected the idea of other lifetimes. Maybe you haven't been open to exploring your other lifetimes. Maybe you're just certain that it's the here and the now and we can't be certain about reincarnation. Maybe you are, we all have been and will be everything, so what's the point? Something like this. Or yeah, again, you can be in this energy of maybe you don't believe in past lives, but they're being shown to you and you're kind of being called to crack into it. Whichever direction it is that you're coming from, you're being called to kind of explore it a little bit, not to let it sweep you off your feet and become your whole world and belief system, right? But do explore what is being shown to you here. Your Akashic records want to show you that there are some things in your life that are working out in your favor that are not the things that you're focusing on. And again, we do have a doors opening, like I cried off of the first Lightcode. So things are changing and shifting for you. However, this is something that is a shift that has always been at this energy point. If you look at these cards as a streamline of energy, this is simply energy, right? And the cards describe the nuances of that energy. If you were to take those nuances and that energy and you overlay it over any lifetime of yours, that the doors opening card is where you are in the present moment. And it also fell in the present position in your spread here. So this is saying that in your other lifetimes, you would know, oh yes, of course a change happens here. I warranted it. In the Akashic energy, you have, oh, when we get to this energy, there's a door that opens. Now in your lifetime, you are walking through with a lot of your human persona. You're walking through this energy with maybe shifts that are happening that are out of your control. Maybe shifts that are happening that you feel called to make that are in your control. Either way, you are approaching the energy of changes and transformations, a door is opening. Larger than just this lifetime, in a way that your higher self is fully aware of, fully on board with, in a way that you have experienced this specific energy before in other lifetimes, so it is fully in your wheelhouse. You fully know how to handle it. You fully know what's going on. And that might not be your conscious human experience of it, but your Akashic records want to tell you that this is a reminder. You know what's going on more than you think that you do. You know how to act in these moments more than you think that you do. You know when to surrender to the grand divine outcome, and you know when to roll up your sleeves and get the job done accurately, more than you think that you do in this current moment in time. And this is also why you're being called into this Akashic energy of your other lifetimes, okay? More messages that are coming through here are focusing on your bodily autonomy, okay? Focusing on the connection that you feel to your body and your health, but also not just the body awareness or just the strengthening or the flexibility. Whatever it is that you are focusing on, try to explore the other areas of it. I'm hearing cross-training. So if you've been really focusing on strength training, try to focus on flexibility and mobility. If you've been focusing on flexibility and mobility, try to focus on strength training. Connect with your body in different ways than you have been. For some of you, if you've been focusing on your body as a tool, like a dancer or a gymnast would, maybe try connecting with the more sensual aspects of your body. If you've been focusing on the sensual aspects of your body, try to lift out of that energy and see your body as so much more. You're being called to explore other areas than where you have been recently, but to continue focusing on your body. There is also this energy of the element of water, which is a reminder to stay hydrated, but also a reminder that you might be connecting with the water element in surprising ways, meaning you might be having awakenings from other lifetimes or remembering lifetimes that are already familiar to you that have a lot to do with water. Sirius B is a water planet. So a lot of people who resonate with past lives from Sirius, they will really strongly be connected with water. Same thing with some energies from Orion. Mintaka, which is in the Orion system, was a water planet. Some people remember energies of being creatures that today are known to be mythical. They'll connect with water very strongly. there is a really strong energy of feeling connected to maybe the marine kingdom, maybe feeling strongly connected to just water in general. You could have been anything in the world that's going to be personal for you. And again, I do offer personal sessions so you can get more detailed past life readings from me. I do also have a past life guided meditation on YouTube here for free. There are no ads in the middle, so you can just float away, hold my hand, and we'll travel there together. So that's also another option to specify on this energy. But the Akashic energy here is actually showing you that right now you are being called to actually allow these other lives that you are tapping into. So some of you, it's more than one life. That you're being called to allow this Akashic energy actually to leave an imprint upon you. Sometimes we're called to observe without receiving. Sometimes we're called to observe and then maybe tweak, do something about it because we've evolved beyond it. But you, group 2 right now, in connection with this energy, are being called and allowing it to leave an imprint on you because it knows what it's doing. You know what you're doing. You've done it a million times before. This is a fate that you've walked through time and time again, so you know exactly what's going on, exactly how to handle it. This is a destiny that you can create. You've done it before and you can do it again. So allow this Akashic energy to leave an imprint on you. You might find yourself collecting some hobbies or interests or character traits. You might find yourself, I'm hearing the song Dancing Through Life from Wicked. You might find yourself kind of floating in a new way or opening up spiritual gifts you haven't worked with in a while in this lifetime or others. So your Akashic energies here are really asking you to have faith in the process right now. They're very much asking you to intentionally do some connecting with your other lifetimes and to allow that to actually create a portal within you that will kind of put you in this mode of knowing exactly what to do. You're going to perhaps be surprised which energies you connect with, but at the same time, some of you, these are energies that are at the forefront of the lives that you've discovered about yourself. So when these show up, there is going to be some sort of surprise element here. And you are being called to allow it to impact you. Sometimes it is appropriate to observe other lifetime energies and be aware that it's not here and now. And that that's not reality currently. The astral worlds are not the highest vibrational energy of consciousness. There's truth beyond all of the Akashic energy that makes that look very, very low vibrational. And also there is truth below the Akashic energy that makes it seem very, very magical, wonderful, high vibrational. That is its own multiverse in and of itself, the astral world. And this is where the Akashic records lie. So, yes, these are astral worlds. That is a huge misconception. So, there is this energy of awareness where you are being called to allow this to have an impact on you, to imprint upon you. You are being called to take on some of those traits, take on some of those skills, take on some of those spiritual gifts and abilities. Allow yourself to maybe shift into the energies that are being integrated within you because it will help your growth and development. It will also help you maneuver a situation in your current moment where a door is opening for you and you feel it. And you're either feeling like none of it's in your hands or it has to be in your hands and you need to figure out exactly the perfect way to go about it. The answer is nuance. It's a little bit of both. And you've already mastered this. So allow this energy to help you through it. Okay, messages please to group 2. We're going to pull messages from this lifetime of yours to you. So from past life version of number 2, what would this past life energy like to tell group 2 today? There's something that's hidden, and it has to do with where you're placing your love. I'm hearing the song We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande, interestingly enough. And the 10 of Pentacles card. Remember where your happiness lies and allow yourself to express yourself fully, but continue moving forward with new beginnings. I'm being shown something like a siren with a sailor or something like like Aphrodite with one of her lovers or something like this. With the King of Cups, it's going to be remember what it is that you love, not just what is your duty. But on the other side of this, remember that there's something larger than this. Like, Aphrodite doesn't like that a man likes her. Aphrodite is just liked by men. So it's larger than this. There's something like this coming through for you. You're being called to remember, especially with the connection with the water element here, you might feel that where you are is your home, but it's not. You might feel that you are the closest to home that you can be connected to this past life energy, but this past life wants to let you know that you can get even closer to home. You just have to dream it. You have to believe it. You have to find it. Let it be shown to you from internally. It's something like, say we're taking this energy literally, okay? When we look at your home, your physical home, the geographical location of your home, it might be close to what feels connected to you spiritually. It might be in the forest. It might be next to the ocean. It might be at one of the chakras of the earth. It might be somewhere special for you. But your past life wants to tell you that this is a nice representation of your home, but it's not actually your home. Now, rather than going on Zillow or Google Maps and trying to find that special place, instead of looking at all the ancient structures on the earth and putting them all on a map, or taking a look at where the chakras are of the earth and seeing where you want to align, find it from within. It will be shown to you, because it's something you won't be able to find on a list like this. It's something that must be shown to you, not something you can externally find. Okay? And home can have several different meanings. This can be a person, a love, it can be an energy, it can be a job, it can be your friends, it can be your physical location as well. Some of you have moved not too long ago, and you thought it would feel just right, but there's something off about it. It's because you've already evolved beyond whatever the culture is there. Okay? Your past life self wants to tell you that you are on the right road to getting to what is meant for you, not only because it cannot pass you up, but because you are stepping in stride. You're taking the right steps. You are closer to where you're going than you ever have been, not just in time, not just in days, but in proximity. You are close to your goals. However, the reason for these goals is something that is deeper within you. It's Akashic. Therefore, when you connect with these astral worlds, you're going to find that it's very emotionally charged, because the astral worlds are connected to the heart chakra. And in our human experience, the heart chakra is connected to our sacral chakra. How many times will you hear people say, listen to your heart in order to follow your emotions? But emotions are ruled by the sacral, which is water. So, your past life self wants to tell you that you will find water where you go, and you will find emotions where you go. But first, you must take a step towards your sacral energy. Then you must build a foundation around that. This might look like following your highest excitement, or letting yourself follow your heart, for lack of a better term. But trust in the process. The first part of this is blind. And then you find your success. You find the reason why. That is your answer. That is your success within. And then it brings you new inspiration. Then you're able to look back and see how you were always in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Not just because it was your fate, but also because you had a hand in it. Because even when you didn't know, you were doing everything right. Because even when you had questions about where you belonged, you didn't let that turn into a struggle. You chose gratitude. Your past life version of you wants to tell you that you've connected with them before, and you will connect with them again. But they are coming through to remind you that sometimes your silliness or your quirkiness, that is actually your innovation. If you feel like you are different, it is because, yes, you are. but that's not a bad thing. You might be from Sirius and be on Earth right now. And it's not that you're from one place or the other, it's that you've experienced one place and then another. You might remember lifetimes around the ocean, under the ground. You might remember lifetimes in different evolutionary periods of Earth. However, you are also here now. Those traits incarnated along with you, or you incarnated here, having also connected to those traits powerfully, because there is some sort of truth to be forged here. As you know from your dreams and your astral experiences, you do reach success in this life as you did in those. So, look to the past, not in this life, but beyond it, in order for you to find your why again. Because every time you look, you'll find that it gets deeper. There's always more to the story. And remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. The reason this is coming up is because with past lifetimes, oftentimes we will think, oh, that doesn't exist anymore, but time happens simultaneously. With past lifetimes, sometimes you'll think, yeah, but when you evolve in consciousness, that kind of becomes obsolete because everything belongs to the same consciousness. We're all part of the same being. So we've all been all of the other lifetimes, past, present, future, and we all will be all of the other lifetimes, past, present, future. Yes. That astrally, there is a reason why you are a magnet to certain energies, why you have memories of certain energies. This is also a reminder that any lifetime that you remember, you are not experiencing it alone. Even your physical body and consciousness right now is made up of millions of different beings. You can even connect with your microbiome, connect with the particles of the air. There is so much life that makes up you. There are so many different conscious particles that make up you that are not just connected to your consciousness, the voice in your head, the observer of the voice in your head. So, there is more intention here than you were once led to believe. And for those of you who aren't fully sold on past lives, but you feel it calling to you and so you're exploring it, there's a reason for this as well. It's just as valid and true when you're experiencing it. All experiences are valid. And there's a reason for it. It assists you in your evolution so that your soul can remember by pulling on that thread where it truly came from, what and who it truly is. Source, spirit, universe, incarnate. And so this past life version of you actually seems to be very illuminated, very enlightened, very evolved. They also feel very humble, very curious about your nature, and very natural in theirs. They would like to connect with you. They would like to share with you a gateway to abundance and let you know that that is what you are stepping through right now in this current moment in your life. You will have some realization that will lead you towards understanding how the way that you acted in the past was actually perfect and divinely guided. Even though you might feel as though maybe you messed up, maybe you didn't do everything quite correctly, maybe if you had shown up a little more or a little better, or you didn't do that one thing, or you did do that other thing, maybe everything would be different. And they want to tell you that it wouldn't. Things go and went the way that they were supposed to, including your spiritual experiences right now. So, there is another message here before we pull some more of these past life oracles. This has a lot to do with you feeling as though if you could only get back to a schedule or an organization or a time or a material facet that you experienced in the past, then everything would just be fine. Your past life self wants to tell you that You are meant to maybe bring hobbies or tools or ideas from the past forward, but you're never supposed to go back. You don't go backwards. You're not supposed to get back into shape. You're not supposed to get your something back or get back to that routine. Rather, move forward because you've grown since then. You've evolved since then. And sure, you've got tools in your tool belt now. But your past life wants to tell you that that's not who you truly are. You are today, here, with 10 fingers and 10 toes, plus or minus a couple. And they also want to remind you that your spiritual ability, your physical ability, your emotional ability, these things are gifts. These things are privileges. If you have grand spiritual gifts, if you are able to even just move your body, if you're able to breathe air, if you're able to walk on this earth, feel grass under your feet, these things are such huge, beautiful gifts. Because every living being doesn't experience the same. In fact, out of all living beings, on and off this earth, in this dimension and in others, most of them don't have the experience that you're having. So, reminder to be grateful. Your past life self is very wise. So, as you are, group 2, you are also very wise. We'll pull here from the past life oracles. I got this from my friend. All of these decks here are available on my Etsy store. I love to make tarot and oracle decks. I've written a few books. I love making journals. I've got some that are prompted and unprompted. I have some for shadow work that's prompted. I have a dream journal, meditation journal, intention journal. Those are great for past life regressions and channeled messages. I also do offer personal readings. So if you would like a deep dive or a channeled message, tarot reading, astrology reading about your past life specifically, or about your soul's path or evolutionary journey, that is my specialty, especially in astrology. So you can also always book a personal with me if you want a more personalized session. So let's see, from the past life oracle, we have from events and links here, we've got, actually the card of dark magic. And this talks about the third eye. So this is the blockage of the third eye chakra. However, energy cannot be blocked. You can have, however, a third eye chakra that has a lot of openness, and so there might be some illusion that is there that's not fully grounded and based in spiritual or physical reality. It can lead to hallucinations. You can, however, also have a third eye that's not as open as the other chakra centers, or like a calcified pineal a little bit. It can be opening up. So basically this is saying to look out for things like sinus pressure, headaches, or migraines. This can also be an indication as well that if you are connecting with darker energies, either by feeling drawn to it or extra repulsed to it, this can also be something that's connected to you akashically. So in this other lifetime, this is saying that in some way, shape, or form, maybe you were a practitioner of a spiritual craft that where you live today, in today's day and age, in the religion your family raised you in the community you live in, whatever, is considered perhaps dark magic or it's taboo. This might also be saying here that perhaps in this other lifetime as well, maybe you were very, very psychic, or alternatively scared of spiritual gifts and psychic visions. It can be something where I'm hearing the phrase witch hunt, okay? So I'm gonna leave that there because that can be very touchy and perhaps even triggering for some people, but that's coming up as well. We do have a creative life, so that of being an artist. So we have that passion, we've got that creativity, we have that spirituality. There's also something here very specifically coming out about a shadow book or a grimoire. Maybe you feel as though you've lost a shadow book or a grimoire. Are you feeling like you're connected to one that you have on your shelf? Or alternatively, you feel like you're called to create or write one. Now again, we've got creating and we have magic, and there's this element of taboo here as well. I'd also like to notice that she's seemingly painting during the night, but she's painting stars, and that's not the moon, that's another planet. So that can be specific as well. Painting the stars. We also do have a little tiny connection to Polaris here for some of you. It's just a little shout out. So with different civilizations and times, we actually have here a galactic civilization coming out for you. And we do have like Atlantis coming out. We've got a future civilization coming out. We have perhaps humanity existing in other places. We have multidimensional, intergalactic, and we also have actually some very, very ancient energies. So before civilization as we know it, outside of civilization as we know it, like outside of civilization in the future or the past, or this can also be multidimensional on another planet. So we do have a lot of energies of this coming through as well. You might remember being some sort of magical being. At the back of the deck here, we do have the Roman Empire. We have the Colosseum here. So we do have this element of slavery as well. This guy is praying on his knees. So this guy looks like he's got an adornment on his third eye, which lets me know that in some way, this could be a high priest. This could be someone who is known for spirituality. We do have a little bit of this energy of the spirituality being maybe masked as creativity. For some of you who are not aware of why the Etruscans left tarot for us, it was not originally a playing card game. It was not originally a divination tool. Actually, it was created as such so that future generations could rediscover what it is. It kind of was collecting dust for a very long time before someone figured out what it was supposed to be and started using it as divination, but that wasn't originally what tarot was. So there's something like this that's very significant. It can be about ancient technologies. This can be about galactic understanding. This can be about magic or spirituality that you have access to that was taboo, that you were maybe ostracized for or oppressed for. And turning this into creativity, your soul's expression, maybe because you were oppressed in another life in a particular way, you express or oppress yourself in this life in a particular way. There's definitely this energy where you did not have the ability to create. Maybe you were so connected with spirituality, with the deities, with the gods. Maybe you were in a collective where everyone acts the same and it's very one vibrational, not like one dimensional, just one vibrational. That there was a status quo in some way, whether it's galactic, whether it's ancient. And because of this, you couldn't fully express yourself. You couldn't fully bring out all of that magic. Or alternatively, you were so tied and connected to that magic that it allowed you to connect with that rather than your creativity. So maybe you're so spiritual, you know exactly what the fate is, you know what all the prophecies are, you know exactly what your timeline options are, so you don't really get to create because that's not what you're here for. Some of you, this might be a like royalty wound. This can be a starseed wound. This can be a witch wound for some of you. There's something like this that's coming up. But the creative energy feels like a big burst of light here. There's definitely an energy for some of you. You might resonate actually with having both a life on an ancient civilization as well as before or after humanity as we know it, as well as galactic lifetimes. So this energy is coming through here, letting you know there is a common link between all of these. And it has a little less to do with the type of being and a little more to do with the lifetimes lived. Where what is allowed at different points in time or different vibrations determines a bit more where your vibration goes. It's a little less, I feel like I want to be on Arcturus. I feel like Atlantis would be cool. Let's do Earth next in 2025. And a little bit more, where can you serve? And where can you enlighten yourself Where can you create that kind of art? Where can you express this energy? Where can you learn this lesson? Where can all of these millions of things that are in your energy, your vibration, what perfectly aligns to that? What time and place and shape and body and experience and even past life memories will resonate the best with this vibration? So, this is also a reminder that time happens at the same time. All of it's happening all at once. So, from the 4D perspective there, that of time and space, you can connect with any of these energies in the past or the future right now because they're ongoing simultaneously. And outside of the 4D, you can take everything that you learn with a grain of salt because it's more about you learning the moral of the story and less about you getting so roped up into it. But if that's what you need in order to progress and grow, then that's the way that it goes. That's the way that it grows. And it's beautiful and amazing too. This is a reminder here, coming through from your past life and also from me. All experiences are valid. All spiritual experiences are valid. All past, present, future lives are valid. All belief systems are valid. Because they're where you are meant to be to get you to where you're meant to go. And so, you might sometimes feel like, why in the world are you here? You're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be on Mars or Atlantis. Why are you here? You're supposed to be in the Jurassic period or underwater or maybe 10,000 years in the future in a civilization that's not human, but not quite human. You are supposed to be here. Exactly the way that you are. In fact, most of what you are is where you are right now. Your soul resonates the most with where you are right now, otherwise you wouldn't be. But there is a reason and a validity to all of those experiences. There's a magic, a mystery, a lesson, an experience, beauty, love in all of those directions that show you how to love yourself more deeply. And so, as you dive into these other lifetimes, as you dive into your current lifetime, and you see that a door is opening for you right now, and you have these other lifetimes of yours calling out to you, and you feel, well, I can't unlock that kind of energy here. That would break things. Or, I can't speak on that. I can only make art about it here, or else it would break things. Or you think, I can't have the conversation with people around here. They're not going to get it. That would break things. There's a reason that you feel the urge to. When you are ready to make it, they're ready to receive it. When you're ready to say it, they're ready to hear it. When you're ready to... When you are fully ready, so are they. You are here for a reason. And it is to be here now. And that does not negate at all your other experiences. And your other experiences do not negate that you're supposed to be here right now. Not on a super secret undercover mission. As you, as a person. As a nice, beautiful, humble human that is sometimes really smart and sometimes kind of clumsy and sometimes kind of silly. And sometimes a lot perfect. And there is also a collection of maybe a spiritual wound, religious wound. Okay, here's a big one. I pulled this Roman Empire card, and we also have the Aztecs coming out here as well. So that is a big one, okay? It's a huge one. We do have these civilizations that do not exist here, today, coming up for you, whether it's galactic, whether it's past civilizations that don't really exist anymore, whether it's the action of those civilizations, you know where I'm going with that, or whether it's, there's definitely this energy of you're here and you maybe aren't supposed to be. It might have to do with the language you speak, the religion that you have, the spiritual beliefs that you have. It might have to do with the color of your skin. It might have to do with the belief system that you have. It might have to do with the past life that you remember, but there's an energy of this. Don't forget who you are and where you came from. It's a gift. It's a gift. Okay? You are supposed to be here. You are a gift. So, group number 2, that is your message from your past life. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity for you. If you are interested in any of my decks, books, journals, I do offer personalized light codes as well. You can find all of those as well as crystals that I wrap. I make little crystal jewelry journals to help you with your progression and regression journey. I do also have past life regressions, astral projection, meditations, things like that, just to help hold your hand there for free on my YouTube channel while you explore this journey a little more deeply. You can also book a personal with me where we can go down this rabbit hole together, one-on-one. If you are interested in more exclusive content, I do have a channel here, my Inner Circle on YouTube. I also have another exclusive content channel on Patreon. All of it's linked in the description box below, but you can check out my Patreon, my Inner Circle channel here on YouTube, my other past life and Akashic readings. And I do also have, again, those guided meditations to help you do the deep dive on your own. And with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out more than you know. Follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, and as always, I love you and I'm grateful for you. Feel free to pick out another pile, another reading, and have an amazing day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I will see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from a past life, and you selected the 3rd group with the yellow light code. Group number 3, you selected one of the most powerful light codes in my Light Codes Oracle deck. This is the DNA activation. Group number 3, the energy that I'm picking up here is meant to be scryed off of this light code, but the channel is coming through really strongly, so I'm just going to roll with it. You have a large energy that you're activating into. You are already very well aware of some of your spiritual gifts and abilities. You're already very well aware of some of your abilities, spiritual or non-spiritual, that you have access to. In another lifetime, you were very, very, very energetically powerful. Like, it's a very strong energy, a very high vibrational energy, a very capable energy. This is giving multidimensional. This is giving a spiritual powerhouse. This is giving, for some of you, a master or a guru of some sort who is able to move things with their mind. It's giving a multidimensional being. It's giving someone who, if they were on this planet, would have gone down in history and might not have been in this dimension or on this planet. But the energy is a spiritual powerhouse, for sure. With this activation, there are energies that are rippling through your body that you have access to as your DNA gets used to having your frequency in a human body. Now, of course, you've been alive as long as you've been alive, so it's not new, but it continues to evolve and activate, and you might find that you have ascension symptoms, is what some people call them, stronger than others. You might find that your activations hit a little harder than usual, and this is not a comparison game at all. This is saying that if you are trying to hold such power, such energy in a mortal human body, sometimes it can be complicated. Now, this is not to say that you are almighty, but it is to say, though, that this past life of yours definitely has some mind-bending aspects. in this realm, that is, that are being asked to be integrated into your physical self, into your body, into your DNA, and you are evolving into it. And this is not something that is new information for you, but the quantity, the sheer quantity of this energy, the pure frequency of this energy, it might be something that you know you can tap in with. You might even feel like, okay, well, you have to just walk the journey and allow it to progress naturally. It might be something where you feel a little bit timid about tapping in with it. It might also be something where you feel as though you know you have access to this, but you dare not go there. There's something like this. Your DNA is activating. And there's also this element of you having an understanding of the way that things work. I'm being shown sacred geometry here. Because you understand the way that things work, you understand the minute and the macro and the micro. You understand that the systems mirror each other. A macrocosm will always mirror the microcosm. However, some get so absorbed into the bigger detail that they miss the smaller ones, or they get so absorbed into the smaller details that they miss the bigger ones. You seem to have an understanding of the system of macro and microcosms. Like you would have an understanding of the container that holds those because you live outside of it. So you're able to see it and look within it and understand what it is. I'm being shown somebody standing maybe on a planet or inside, and it's inside of a box. Like you're standing on a planet, you look up and out and it's this big, magical, beautiful sky and space. And then something or someone else who, when looking down, it looks like there is just this little ant in a box, and you see the box and you see the ant, you know what it is, you know what's going on in there. You see outside of the box because you experience life outside of the box. You are this large energy. I'm also being shown Anunnaki for some of you, so that might be significant for a few of you. There's definitely this multidimensional energy coming through here, or at least this highly aware spiritual energy with powerhouse that you know you can connect with. Let's take a look at the cards here and pull some information. We're going to pull energies from your Akashic records here. We're using today my Lightcode's Oracle, my Follow Your Heart Oracle, my Graphic Tarot, and then we're going to use the Past Life Oracle. So first we're taking a look here at messages to you from your Akashic records, messages to you from your past life specifically, and then we're going to take a look at energies that can kind of connect with you from that life of yours with the Past Life Oracle. So first, what are messages from your Akashic records here? We have past life regression, interestingly enough, and energy transmutation. You are meant to seed or anchor an energy into your body, into your vessel. It seems as though you are here in order to like download and upload a particular energy. It's less about collective consciousness. It's less about humanity or planet Earth, and more about finishing integrating something. I'm being shown in certain cultures, when one comes of age, when one hits a certain age, when they become a man or become a woman, or they want to get initiated as a warrior or something like this, they will need to go on some sort of solo journey into the woods by themselves, into the forest by themselves. They'll need to go, I don't know, kill a bear or something by themselves, climb a mountain by themselves, whatever it is. It's like an initiation process that needs to be done by themselves, and that is what is going on for you right now. It's almost like someone who has so much power, so much spiritual energy that is outside of the matrix, that must be like the last test. It's going through trials and tribulations within the matrix in order to initiate and unlock into that energy. Like you can't it's like you can't have access to the power outside of the matrix until you understand the matrix itself, but not first, last. You have to understand the matrix last before you get that final activation. It's not you be in the matrix and awaken out of it. It's like you lived your life outside of the matrix, and so before you're able to fully finish expressing or evolving, you have to dip your toe into it. You have to understand it. You have to experience it in order to be able to maneuver outside of it, because you have to understand it so you can empathize with it. You have to be able to empathize with it so that you can understand it. Okay, We also have release what doesn't serve you and cleanse your energy. So that's a big message coming here for you as well. So there are definitely some things here. I'm getting preconceived notions about the life you currently lead. Now, this might not be from your brain to your body and your life, although it might be. It might be from your, you might have had preconceived notions about humanity. You might have had preconceived notions about people, or about people who were like you, or people who do what you do. There's something here about you, in some way, shape, or form, being exactly what you didn't understand. So for example, if you usually incarnate as one particular gender, you would incarnate as the other one so you can empathize with it. If you usually incarnate as someone with a ton of spiritual energy, you would incarnate as someone with basically none so that you could understand what it's like to do things the hard way. And this can have many different nuances. These are just examples that I'm rattling off as I read this energy, because it's about reading the energy, of course, so we can help you connect with this energy more deeply. What we do have, though, is this deep dive and this remembrance of your last self. It's like I'm being shown that you have jolts of remembering, oh, this is where I'm from. Oh, this is where I am. Oh, this is that energy. And it is almost like playing tug of war with you a little bit, because you're transmuting the space in between, which is a really cool energy, actually. It's kind of like if you want to cast a net, but you want to cast a really, really wide net. It's going to need to maybe stretch a little bit. You're going to need to reach into the furthest, highest dimension possible and the lowest, furthest dimension possible. And with that, you are weaving them together, transmuting the energy in between, and you are integrating all of them into this one experience. And so that's kind of what I'm being shown here from your Akashic records. And then again, of course, with the release what doesn't serve you and the cleanse your energy cards here, we do have this energy of you being here maybe to release preconceived notions about something as opposed to karma. It's kind of like you are here to evolve in consciousness. Maybe you don't have physical karma here. Maybe you have, you've manifested into an ancestral line in some way, so you do have ancestral karma, but as a soul, you might not have personal karma. So with that being the case, you might find that there's a problem and you're like, there's the solution, let's fix it, woohoo. But you're on Earth, it's not that simple. People don't always want the solution. People don't always want to be helped. People don't always want the solution to happen. It's never that simple. It's always complicated, even if to you it's not. There's a little bit of this energy of that observing a little more. It's like you are here not to learn lessons. You are here to observe, to take note, to learn, almost to report back or to understand or to empathize, and to clean out maybe some preconceived notions about where you are. Maybe you usually incarnate. Maybe it's on a different continent than where you currently live. Maybe you feel displaced. It can be anything like this. But there's this energy of your DNA activating and it needing to be able to embody all of the entropy, it needing to be able to embody all of the vibrations, all of the incarnations, all of the energies, including that which is to you as a soul in essence either taboo or unrefined or undefined or unworthy. And so there's a little bit of this vibe here of this. You might have some sort of interesting past life story in your experience where you might resonate with being like you might have come from group 2, for example. You might have remembered an energy of being oppressed and oppressed and oppressed and oppressed, and then this time you manifest as the oppressor who has nothing but privilege and no right to feel oppressed in the ways that your soul feels like they've been. Or it can be the opposite. We've always been the oppressor, the oppressor, the oppressor, the oppressor, and now you're in the energy of the oppressed. And you're like, where's my power? Where is it? What happened? And it doesn't need to be so dramatic. It doesn't need to be so polarizing like that. It can also be something that's magical versus non-magical, galactic versus human. It can be something that's, maybe you're used to being a quadruped, now you're a biped. There's something like this that is coming through. and it will be individual for all of you. Again, I do offer personal readings, so if you want more of a specific energy about one lifetime or about your stream of lifetimes that are in your current collection of experiences, then we can dive into that together as well. But this is the general energy that's coming through here for you from your Akashic records. Now we're going to pull a message here for you from your past life. So from your past life, what do you want to tell group number 3? King of Swords. Okay. Oh, Judgment in reverse. Okay. They want you to make sure that you speak up. Okay? That you speak up about something. They want to make sure that you use your voice. And there's also this energy here where you are aware that something is out of your control. You are here to be the magic in it, not the spectacle of it. Okay? We have the Star. Yes. You're, in some way, shape, or form, a walking paradox, a walking miracle, or a walking something. Paradox. Let's just use the word paradox, okay? And this is meant to, for you, bring abundance in your energy, in your soul, into a tiny little corner. And in that, it's a big deal for the outward expression of this energy and a very small deal for the expression of your soul. Again, we have this very strong duality energy coming through here. Your other life, your past life, wants to tell you, again, to speak the truth, write down your truth. There's something here about documenting your truth the way that you know it to be true, because it can help others uncomplicate things in the future. I'm hearing the song Spaceship by Kesha, which is adorable. I love that song, but it's interesting too. It talks about, I'm waiting for my spaceship to come back for me. And we talk about the Three of Wands, which is your ships coming in. It doesn't need to be so galactic, UFO, other lifetime starseed kind of energy. Some people have really, really nasty opinions about starseed energy because they're like, it's a form of white supremacy or like oligarchy or something like that. And there are other people who are like, no, I genuinely, in like the past life regressions, they genuinely feel strange being on this earth because they're not used to it. And so there's again this polarizing idea where what's coming through here, and I just want to say, like, wherever anyone is on their journey, it's entirely valid because it's what you need to experience in order to get to where you're going and heal and evolve and grow, and we can all just be the best versions of ourselves along the way, right? So we're just opening up that topic of conversation or that idea for some of you, or just honoring that as well. But there is, again, with this waiting for your spaceship to come in, waiting for your ships to come in for you, there's something about you honoring this truth where this helps uncomplicate things in the future. But when you release what doesn't serve you, you are going to need to detach from the things that you end up attaching to in this life, which is interesting because what you have coming on here is your past life wants to tell you you're not used to getting attached to things. You are in the realm of attachment. You're going to get attached to things and you're going to like it and you're going to want it to be that way. You're going to fight against it. You're not going to want it to happen. You're going to be very good at being detached. You're going to be very good at being analytical, at fixing problems, at raising your vibration, at evolving. You know exactly what to do. You're showing up like a pro. But you are going to get attached and you're going to begin to fall in love. You're going to fall in love with attachment. You're going to want to keep it that way. You're going to understand the empathy, and that is the point. That is the point. Because when your ships come in, you're going to need to detach from it all again. You're going to need to carry forward again. You're going to need to carry on. I'm hearing Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance, of course. And we have the Queen of Wands at the back of the deck here. Your past life wants to tell you to build and create a beautiful, magical world. Do not feel so alienated or detached that you do not fall in love with this life. But do not fall so deeply that you lose that sense of self within and end up, like, it's like, not, you don't want to hurt yourself by attaching. It's that, remember that you're going to need to detach. Remember that you're going to need to move on. As you have, as you will, as you do, as we all do. And so, this, in a way, you are a gift, and this is a gift. However, this is so foreign and inside out for your usual experience, for your soul in some way, shape, or form. Your past life is almost coming through to guide you through this life Because there's this energy of almost, you know your past life. You know exactly what it is. Your persona is just like that life. You know exactly what's going on from that life's perspective. It's learning what's going on in this life's perspective. It's learning the nuance and the injustice and the humanity and the love. That's it. It's learning the humanity of it. Understanding the matrix. It's putting yourself in that box, knowing that you're in a box. You don't ever forget that you're in a box, right? But it's letting yourself fall in love with being inside the box, even though you know that that's not all there is. Even though normally you exist outside of it, even though you can crawl out of it at any time, it's not looking at that box and going, oh, silly ants in the box. It's embracing the beauty of being in the box, just like there's beauty outside of the box. It's allowing that love to transcend preconceived notions, to transcend timelines, to transcend realities and realms and dimensions and things like that. And of course, that is rationally your objective. That makes sense to you. I want to notice that we have no cups cards here. No connection to emotions coming out here at all. We have DNA activation, past life regression, energy transmutation, escaping the matrix, release what doesn't serve you, cleanse your energy. That sounds like a to-do list, doesn't it? Now we have King of Swords, Judgment in reverse, Eight of Pentacles. That starts to sound like a to-do list. Who cares what's fair? It's just business, right? This detachment with number 8, it's a soul star chakra here, grounding, pentacles, 8 pentacles, soul star on the earth, walking around with the star, which is the light being that comes down and creates the fountain of youth on the earth. And wish fulfillment, and Aquarian energy, and social media, and all of that modernized, nuanced stuff, too. It's the light being wandering around on the earth, creating the fountain of youth so that they have a taste of home where they are. And then telling the truth about what it is. This is a fountain of youth. If you drink it, you shall stay youthful. You shall enlighten. You shall connect with immortality. Two of Swords. Oh, okay, buddy. Sure. And then right when things start to crack. Three of Wands. The ship comes in to take you away. So this is an interesting message that's coming through here. We're going to take a look at the past life oracles here. This was gifted to me from a friend. All of these are available on my Etsy store. I made all of these decks, except for the one I'm about to use now. Again, I do offer all of these decks and my personals on my Etsy store. I also make personalized light codes as well for connecting with a particular vibration or energy or lifetime. And there is also on my YouTube channel for free, I do have a guided past life regression meditation. And I also have an astral projection that's guided. I've got a few guided meditations for your spiritual journey up here as well. Those are for free as well, so you can check those out. I do also have exclusive content on Patreon, and then here on YouTube as well, my inner circle, and then Patreon at Spiritualistik. You can find all of that. So if you want to connect and dive down a little deeper, you can find me over there. So with that, let's take a look at the past life oracle here, and we're going to see what wants to come up for you. Okay. So we have events and links. We have religious oppression, which is actually very interesting. And this is also talking about the crown chakra here. So I'm noticing she's wearing a purple shirt, very crown chakra-y, right? And she's got blush on her cheek. That's really standing out to me. There's something about blushing, like feeling maybe embarrassed, feeling embarrassed about, feeling embarrassed. Is it about being yourself or about being where you are or something like this? Something about being embarrassed or blushing. It's like you're blushing because you're embarrassed, and then you're blushing because something makes you giggle and you're happy and you blush and it's cute. It's that transmutation of energy there. It's falling in love with the matrix. Understanding that that's what it is. Understanding that's not all there is. Understanding there's outside of it, but you're comfortable out there. That's your wheelhouse. This is not. So we have like backwards religious oppression, backwards spiritual oppression. The spirituality oppresses your physical life, and that's not spiritual bypassing, because you're not gaslighting yourself into a different reality or truth or ignoring something or brushing something under the rug. This is you taking your inherent state and dipping your toe into something else. It's breaking outside of your comfort zone. It's coloring outside of the lines. And then again, there's that duality here. There's that, well, if you are great at spirituality, if your consciousness is very evolved, you will say things that to some might sound like spiritual bypassing, but they don't know the journey. They only know the presented destination. There can also be something here about, again, the starseed energy. Some people see it as oppressive, very oppressive. They see it as very narcissistic, or they see it as very like white supremacy, or just supremacy vibes in general. And again, it's about their preconceived notion of the destination without observing the journey there. That in and of itself is projection of spiritual bypassing. But that doesn't make their experience or perception wrong. That's the way that they receive it, and that's valid, and that's real, and that's true. And there are people who act like they're holier than thou because they remember a different thing, you know, and they're like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm from Sirius. No, you're not better than anybody, okay? You can be from whatever, okay? You're cool. We're all cool, right? That's the point. That is, in essence, the point. There's this energy here about this, like, inside-out energy coming through. You were one thing. Now you're something else. And so the whole beautiful, strong essence of your being that is evolving into something big and beautiful and miraculous and spiritual is oppressed in this human body, or so it feels. And so you almost need to unlearn your evolution in some way, and that can feel oppressing as well. We have like your family here, like we have basically like soul family relationships that are karmic. Yeah, okay, so we've got like your soul tribe basically. So there's an energy of you finding a community or making a community while you're here. I also want to notice that there are 3 here. So this can be like the triple moon goddess. It can be the 3 fates. It can be Hecate. It can be 3 in creation. We do have sacred geometry that came out before. 1 is the 2 is the 3 is the all. So 3 is a really magical number here. We do also have this energy of like lack and abundance mindset coming out here. So we have fear of lack. We have a little bit of like flight and ruin, fear of lack. So basically what you're experiencing here in this lifetime, not other lifetimes, but in this lifetime from the perspective of your last lifetime, group 3, you kind of flipped this reading on its head, but that's all right. We're here to read the energy. It's actually religious oppression and learning how to open up your crown chakra again in ways that align with the realm that you're currently in and allow both to express themselves normally and naturally and lovingly. We also have this energy of experiencing a change and understanding that sometimes you're going to come across old friends, right, in new bodies, but they might not remember that they're old friends. They might just remember being the new body. Understanding that sometimes you're going to have new friends that you didn't know before and that you cannot know outside of here. And so there's that dynamic that's coming through as well. But remember that 3 is the all. 1 is 2 is 3 is all. So you can always connect with everything and everyone all the time, everywhere. And that's not news to you. We also have a bit of this energy of fear of lack. So you might be, with release which doesn't serve you, you might be having a difficult time with the idea, the constructs of an economy, of capitalism, of making money or keeping money or hoarding money or just trading things in general. You might have a difficult idea with this concept. You could also be feeling a little bit like it makes it so that you want to be focused, either focused on making money, focused on your soul path, and finding the way that maybe when one is easy for you, the other is difficult, and when one is difficult, then the other is easy. Finding the balance here. So there's a little bit of this. Let's see. Well, actually, your Akashic Records gave you a to-do list right in the beginning, group 3s. I was going to pull advice for you, which I didn't do for the other piles. But let's see, you have past life regression. Check. Okay, you're doing that now. Energy transmutation. Check. I'm getting to remind you that it goes both ways. Energy transmutation. Okay. Escaping the matrix. Inevitable. Release what doesn't serve you. Even the things in the matrix, even the things in this lifetime, they're serving you in some way. And especially when you don't have your own karmic karma to work through, it can kind of be a little bit tricky seeing how still things don't necessarily like just flow 100% all the time. They do. It's a perspective. So allow yourself to release what no longer serves you, because all things serve you, sometimes even in realizing that they're not serving you. It's like you have this energy of learning to indulge, learning to enjoy, learning to human, learning to be imperfect, learning to be maybe quadrupedal, whatever it is for you, or bipedal. Humans are bipeds. And then eventually cleansing your energy of all of it. Allowing yourself to feel it when you're there and detach when you're not. Do not pull the past with you, leave it where it was, but feel the present fully. And in the future, again, do not look back at the past and hold it with you. Simply leave it where it is and move on. Feel it in the present and detach from it moving forward. That is the advice that's coming for you right now, that's coming from your Akashic records. You are meant to create. You are meant to create some sort of empire or system or structure, but that is going to be something that happens as a symptom to your experience. You are meant to do it as a symptom of your own growth, of your own experience. It is not supposed to be something that you do in a self-sacrificial way, because this is an interesting energy that's coming through. I'm just going to channel what I'm picking up on. I'm hearing specifically in my clear audience, you're not here for them, they're here for you. And that can be in a million different ways. Again, it's bringing me back to this energy of embarrassed because it's embarrassing, and then blushing because it's sweet. You're blushing because it's embarrassing, and then you're blushing because it's sweet. So there's this vulnerability. There's this aspect of vulnerability, this aspect of you're not alone, you have your soul family. And it's okay to be the odd one out in your soul family too. I'm noticing there are these 3 women here who are holding up the full moon. Beautiful, beautiful iconography here. And even the one of them is wearing polka dots. Even she doesn't fully fit in with her little group of friends there. And that's okay. And they're all blushing. They're all having a wonderful time. So look, this fierce little baddie here, even she's blushing, you know? It's okay. It's great. It's cute. So this is interesting. I didn't expect this to take this turn. I'm going to pull actually some more cards. I just want to pull messages to you from your past life, because these are very grounded. They're kind of a little more they're a little more grounded past life energies, even the galactic ones. So I'm going to pull messages here. We have the moon in reverse. Yeah, there are no secrets or mysteries for you. I think that's why a lot of them didn't really come out here. It's not less about understanding and more about recalibrating. Okay, we have 2 of Pentacles. Making choices, finding balance, especially when it comes to your virtues, what it is that's important to you. 3 of Cups. Okay, that's a big one. Celebration, friends, make friends, casual connections, in any context. Casual friends, casual people that you're friends with for a day or a week, or, you know, a friend or a lover doesn't need to be a ride or die the first day that you meet them, right? Like you can enjoy loving people because you love them. We have 6 of Cups, like looking back at the past. It can be reminiscing. It can also be soul, like it can be past life regression as well, like remembering your soul work, spiritual work, shadow work, things like that. 4 of Wands. You're meant to succeed at this. You are always going to succeed at this. You knew this as well. However, you're being called to take a look at how the things that you think are hindering your soul's progress are actually, in essence, leading you to your success. They're showing me this spiritual oppression. Okay? Things that you think are hindering you on your journey are actually going to be some of your greatest tools. Energy transmutation goes both ways. Release what doesn't serve you. Release what's no longer serving you. If you haven't understood how something is serving you, that means that it's not yet done serving you. Okay? Knight of Wands. Go a little crazy. Have a little passion. However, you're also meant to glitch the matrix a little bit while you're here by you needing to express yourself authentically. That's coming through as well. There's a need for you to express yourself. And in doing that, you're going to find that it does create a change around you. But you're going to find that you need to do it for you. It's almost that your impact that you have here, it's meant to happen accidentally on purpose. Or purposely on accident. That might be why you haven't quite found your path, because it gets created by your authentic expression. You understand your soul's objective. You understand your human persona. You understand the world around you. Because it's supposed to happen purposely on accident. You're meant to get attached, and you're meant to enjoy that. You're not supposed to have the fear of missing out or the fear of lack. You're supposed to indulge. And that is the opposite of what most spiritual and religious systems will ever teach you. That is the opposite of what any multidimensional energies will ever teach you. So group number 3, that is a message from your past life. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. If you're interested in a personal, I do offer those. They're on my Etsy store at Spiritualistik. You can find them linked in the description box below. I offer channeled messages, personalized light codes. I do tarot and astrology. I read also astrocartography, so if you're looking at your maps and everything. I also offer Reiki sessions, light codes and energy sessions and things like that to help align and adjust and transcend. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. Feel free to follow me over on Patreon at Spiritualistik, on my Inner Circle channel here on YouTube, in the description box, both of those as well, of course. And as always, I love you and I'm grateful for you. Feel free to check out another pile or another reading, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.